Alright, here's how to change the tubes in the Noble DI. First, you want to make sure the unit is powered off and unplugged. You'll remove the back panel here with the 6 Phillips screws, 4 in the corner and then 2 in the middle. And these black guys here, these are the tube shields, and they just press in and then pop right off. So you push down slightly, rotate counterclockwise, and then those will come out the holes here. Now the tubes are just friction fit in there into the socket, so they're put in pretty firmly, and you may need to grab onto this the circuit board here, either here or here, right here by the output jack wires. Depends what hand you like to work with here. I'm going to hold the board with my right hand and wiggle the tube gently back and forth with my left, and it just pops right out. And then I'll bring that out the hole here. Do the same with this one. Use a different hand here. This one's a little stiffer, but notice I'm just wiggling it back and forth, side to side, while I'm pulling up. So it's no rotating, just wiggle it and they come right out. You can see the pins here, they're straight, they just go straight in. So you just gently kind of wiggle it out, and there it goes. Alright, so there you go. Now to get the tubes back in, of course it's just the opposite. Put it in here. Now the tricky part is, you'll notice this is a 9-pin, well, it's a 9-pin tube. One of the pins would have been 10, but one is missing, right? So that allows you to line it up. Now you can line it up by looking, but you can do it without even looking, by just gently setting it in the socket and twisting it around until it sinks down. There you go. See, you see that? Look at this lower spacer here, and watch the distance between it and the top of the tube shield. There, it just sunk down. So it's now in the proper position in the socket. Now what I'm doing here is I got my index fingers from both hands on top of the tube. I think this is harder than getting it out, actually. And I'm going to take both my thumbs and put it somewhere underneath the tube board. There's a nice spot that I've left underneath the regulators here to push on. So I'm just going to squeeze, like pinch as hard as I can, basically, while wiggling it back and forth. And again, if you just watch the space between this little mica spacer inside the tube and the top of the tube shield, when it gets almost all the way in, then you're good. Now one trick that I have for doing this, because obviously I do this a lot, I made a little bit of a tool here. This is just a wine bottle cork, and I took a countersink drill bit and just drilled it out so that the top of the tube go right over it like that, and then I can use this to push from the outside. But again, I'm just squeezing with my hand and wiggling it. Make sure it's seated well in there. Let's do the same with this one here. I'll spin it around. There, drop down. Use this little tool for this one here. And just kind of walk it right in there. So there it is. Just squeeze it, press it in, and then the tube shields back on. Line up that little divot right there with the slot. Push it in, turn it, and it's locked. Same thing over here. And good to go. Now one thing you want to make sure or watch out for when you're putting the tube shields on, you want the little points of the tubes to go in the middle of the spring retainer on the tube shield. Sometimes if it gets in a little bit sideways, you'll see the center of the tube shield off to the side. So just check that it's on there straight. If it's not on there straight, it probably won't get on. So that looks great. So job done. Put the back on. Make sure this cable right here is folded down when you put the back on, and then you're not pinching any wires in here. But it's pretty straightforward. Have fun. That's it.